You know, change is hard. Like when the manufacturer drops your favorite finish and you got to find something new. Today I want to talk about a finish that many woodturners have used and love, including me. It's been my Minwax antique oil. It's been my favorite finish for many years, but it got discontinued. If you've ever used it on bowls or boxes, you know how easy it is to use, and you probably liked it as well. So what happened to it? Why was it discontinued? Why was it a favorite? Let's dig into it. So, according to the Minwax website, Minwax antique oil is an oil-based protective finish that gives wood a soft, hand-rubbed luster. It's durable, easily maintained, and highly resistant to staining, and it works by penetrating into wood. I don't know why they still have it on their website, because they don't make it anymore. So what was in it? Well, it's been a bit of a mystery to me. Years ago, a noted turner and expert on finishes, Russ Fairfield, posted this on a board. He said, the product, Minwax antique oil, sold in a red can, is the only true Danish oil that remains on the market. It's boiled linseed oil and thinner in its simplest form. There are no varnish resins, but it's a wonderful finish for turned wood. For some reason, it's ignored by wood turners in favor of the inferior, in my opinion, Watco Danish oil. Well, so I didn't think it had any resins in it, any varnish, that it was just pure penetrating oil, but ChatGPT, an AI app, provides this. While Minwax oil didn't publish the exact formula, the safety data sheet gives us a good sense of the ingredients. A drying oil, likely boiled linseed oil, an alkyd, a varnish resin, and mineral spirits as the solvent. So Minwax antique oil is what we might call a wiping varnish. You know, basically it's a blend of drying oils and maybe varnish resin and mineral spirits, maybe some kind of drying agent, and that combination gives us really the best qualities of both an oil and a varnish. So why did woodturners like it? Well, they liked it for several reasons. First, it's incredibly easy to apply. You just wipe it on, let it sit for a few minutes, and then wipe off any excess. And it just, it worked great. And then you let it sit. I generally let it sit 12 hours, and then the next day I would apply another coat. Give it just a few minutes to penetrate, and then wipe off any excess. And I mean, it was that simple. And I'd wait 24 hours between coats, and I would give it anywhere from 3 to 5 coats, because it would build up a little bit of a sheen, even though it was more of a satin, soft luster finish. It didn't have a plastic look to it, which I liked. And it had pretty good shelf life. I've got just a little bit left in here, and I bought this 2 years ago, and it's still in good shape. And I've had a number of finishes that just couldn't make it 12 months. One of those is, for example, is Osmo, which I've been sampling other finishes to try them out. And it was a hard finish, made in Germany, but I don't know. It was expensive. I didn't really care for it. I use different finishes sometimes for different things. I like Mylan's friction for things on the lathe. I've talked about that in a couple of videos before. I played around with a little bit with this Parfix 3408 CA finish. It takes a while to set up. It's okay for, jury's still out on that as far as I'm concerned. I like Mylan cellulose sanding sealer for some things because it dries just in moments, and you can put on a couple of coats. Doesn't get real shiny, but you don't like real shiny, but that's useful for some things. So why was Minwax antique oil discontinued? Well, Minwax never really gave a public explanation, but based on industry standards, there's probably 3 likely reasons. Number one, the volatile organic compound regulations have been tightened, which makes old solvent heavy finishes expensive to reformulate. It was a low volume product compared to polyurethane and stains. Manufacturers are shifting to water-based finishes, and older solvent products are being phased out. So the combination of low sales and strict regulations probably led to its disappearance. Now, one of my fellow club members, Harvey Meyer, a noted turner, noted for his baskets of illusion. I think he might have been the one that introduced me to this probably 15 years ago. He went on to look for some of this when he realized it ran out, and he got lucky. Somebody that knew he wanted some found some on a trip out to Montana and brought him back a couple of quarts, so he's still using those up. But he did find a source online that supposedly had 300 cans of this stuff, and he was nice enough to try to take orders from members of the club that might be interested, including myself. And like 3 days later, when he went to place the order and they had 300 cans, it was all gone. It had all been purchased by one individual in Pennsylvania. So if you look online, there's some of it still available, but boy, it's going through the roof. It's going for over, I paid about $20 a can for this 2 years ago. Now these cans that are, you know, a couple of years old, been on the shelf a couple of years, and now selling for $100 on places like eBay and and Amazon.
Can you believe this privateer selling a half a pint of this old can for $46 on eBay?
So what are some of the alternatives? Well, I've been playing around with you know, according to Russ Fairfield, the inferior Watco Danish oil. I don't like it. Part of it is because it's a little fussier to apply. You've got to put it on and let it sit for 15 minutes, and then you've got to wipe off the excess and then apply it again for an additional 15 minutes. Wipe the surfaces completely dry and then wait for 8 to 10 hours, and then maybe reapply multiple coats. I don't like having to go back to something twice in the same day because I'm off to other things. It's just hard to time it for 15 minutes and go right back and clean it up. So that's one reason I didn't like it. It seemed kind of, it was a little too shiny, too plasticky for me. The other thing, it was kind of strange to me. I used, hang on, I'll illustrate. Well, I thought I would, but I've thrown out all the last little cloths I used for finishing. But I take pieces of t-shirt, tear them up in little squares. And with the Minwax antique oil, the next day this thing is just about stiff as a board. One thing about it is it is subject to spontaneous combustion, so you do have to treat rags and things with boiled linseed oil with a great deal of respect. With the Danish oil, it would be soft in the applicator for several days. It just didn't seem to dry very quickly, which kind of makes me wonder a little bit. So that's one reason why I didn't much care for the Danish oil. I've tried Wipe On Poly. Don't much care for it. Before I leave this, I hate the safety top. Man, it's just a pain to get this thing open. And having the right top makes a big difference. That's one of the reasons I didn't much care for the Osmo, is popping off this can top. The plastic openings I like a lot. They're fairly easy. But it does provide it provides a film finish that doesn't penetrate, and it's kind of plasticky. Really, you can make it really shiny if you build up 5, 6, 7 coats. However, you can burn through it with a buffer. I use it occasionally. It dries a little faster than a Minwax antique oil. And one thing about the Minwax antique oil, when you put it on and you let it cure for several days, you couldn't buff through it because the finish was in the wood. You do a film finish such as the Wipe On Poly that puts a layer on top, you can burn through it with a buffer if you're heavy-handed and not careful. For those of you that miss the Minwax antique oil, there are a number of woodturners that make their own with a DIY solution. It's typically 1/3 oil, such as boiled linseed oil, but it could be walnut oil or tung oil. 1/3 solvent, typically mineral spirits, but you might try naphtha, and then 1/3 varnish, typically polyurethane. I had a couple of courses in chemistry in college, didn't do especially well in them. That's why I guess I didn't have real good luck or didn't really enjoy mixing my own. Some people say it'd be cheaper, but by the time you buy 3 quart cans, you got a little bit of investment in a lot of stuff. But it might be something worth playing with to try to replicate the results you get in with the antique oil. I did a video on this a few years ago. I'll have a link on the screen in case you're interested. So that's the story of Minwax antique oil, and why it works so well, why so many turners loved it, and why we think maybe it's no longer available. If you've ever used it, please leave in the comments below. But what I really want to hear from, if you found something, and you've used Minwax antique oil, and you found something almost as good, please let me know in the comments below. And remember, y'all stay safe. Come on back, you hear?